So I'm gonna read a poem. This is the second poem I wanted to do on a Facebook Live, but I'm gonna read a poem called "I Am King," and it's not the same version of "I Am King" that was published. The version of "I Am King" that was published actually was cut down a lot, and it was watered down from the original poem of what I meant to say in "I Am King." When I wrote "I Am King," it was cut down a lot and kind of, kind of edited and stuff for like the publisher. So a lot of "I Am King," there was a lot of lines missing, a lot of lines that did not, got not were not put in the original were not put in the publishing. They were in the original poem, but they weren't in the publishing. So because for publishing it was changed a little bit and etc. But this is going to be the original poem "I Am King" with the original lines and etc. Which was actually about a person I wanted a relationship with and etc. And she was obviously somebody who's causing a lot of the mess that has gone down in the arts and etc. With a lot of the communication and artistic endeavor indifferences and stuff like that. So she lives in Hartford, which is about an hour or two away. So, but this was originally for a woman that I actually wanted to pursue, and um, it was a response because I was things were going wrong and stuff, and I was getting rejected and stuff, and I knew in my heart too that I was still a king, even though at the end of the day, I am still worthy. I am still a king. I am still somebody who should be valued and respected. Even though you might not value or respect me or want anything to do with me, I am still valued and respected. So, this is about. I mean, this could be about a couple different women, but I mean, regardless, this is just. I mean, because it's so generic, it doesn't really go into anything specific. But this is called "I Am King" by me, Karl Nicholas Urso. I am king. With you or without, whether you accept my love or I pout, I am king. I am king whether or not I decide to put a ring on a woman's finger, whether we fall apart when I'm trying to date and be together, or she doesn't want the gifts that I bring her. I am king. Whether she goes on to love another or decides to cheat, whether I am really winning or lying in defeat, I am king. Whether I get noticed or not, whether you value my opinion or do not, I am king. Whether I am a single father or with a queen, whether you understand what I say or mean, whether you have faith in me or not, whether you believe me or for who I am or make me into something that I'm not, I am king. Whether you walk a mile in my shoes, whether I own a car, new or used, whether I live in my apartment or own my own home, whether I still live with my inner child or act full grown, whether I am not, whether or not I have been or have not been abused, whether or not my choices have been successfully made or not used, I am king. Oh, hold on. Whether you love me for my beliefs or you do not or don't, whether you're with me when shit hits the fan or won't, whether you let me care for you and your kids or not, whether you don't live whether you don't live, li, whether you don't leave me here or destined to rot, I am king. Whether I'm following the crowd, whether I, whether I need to listen to the voice screaming so loud, I am king. Whether you betray me or not, whether I'm thankful for this life or I am not, whether I am king. Whether I am black or white, wrong or right, blind or with sight, I am king. Whether I am making average pay or minimum wage, whether I am calm with spirit or filled with rage, whether I work, I'm disabled, I am home, whether I have hair on my head or nothing to comb, I am king. Whether I am rich or poor, here in my country are all fighting some war. I said many times before, I am king. Whether I am mentally ill or perfectly sane, whether my heart hurts or I will never be the same. Whether I was raised with one parent or two, whether you stick by me or we're through. I am king, still worthy. So that was the original poem. There was a few lines in it that actually never actually got put in the actual poem upon editing and stuff. It was kind of edited for publisher's preference and to make what we felt what she felt and being having the poem published was going to sound better. But there was a lot of lines in there that still never made it into the original publishing. That when I worked with when I worked with the National Bee Poetry Foundation, there were still a lot of lines that were cut from the poem, because the original poem had certain lines that people you know didn't really get to see and say, or didn't really get to hear, from the original poem. But it's kind of about just being kind of rejected and kind of saying, I am still king, I am still worthy, I'm still a human being, and I still I still exist, and I'm still have a part to play on this planet, and to live and to grow, and but yeah. That's the original version of I Am King. The one that wasn't cut. The one that didn't have certain lines and stuff cut down from it, and etc. So, anyways, just wanted to read that for you today, and I got several hours before I get going to get my groceries. Before I get going to get my groceries and stuff, I got several hours and things to do. So, but anyways. Peace.